Well, I think that it's safe to say that game was entertaining. Coach Rhodes and his staff, they do a great job. I think their guys really compete. They play the right way. They're unselfish. They compete defensively. They're big and physical. They do a good job rotating. And I think that you got to give them credit for making a couple more plays than we did down the stretch. And that was the difference in the game.
Coach, it seemed like you struggled with their pressure. 17 turnovers tonight. What exactly were they doing that kind of frustrated you at times?
Well, I think I'm going to have to disagree. I don't think we struggled with their pressure in the backcourt at all. I thought they pressed the entire game. We turned it over one time in the backcourt. And I thought that I could have made a case that it was off them and not us. I think what they do is that a lot of teams you find that press a lot, when they're good in press, they're not very good in the half court. They're pretty good at both. And I thought that what really bothered us more than anything was the way they rotated and how they held big and physical and held their ground. And we got in some trouble with that. And I thought if you look at our turnovers, we ended up with 12 of our 17 turnovers came from our 4 and 5 men. Those were all in the paint. Those were all decisions in the paint we made that we've got to be better at. But give them credit. They did a great job of rotating over big, taking some kickouts away because of their size, and they were able to get some deflections on the ball and come out with some loose balls.
Justin Tillman seems to have really improved the last few games. What's the toughest thing about facing a player like that?
It's that he's good at everything. There's no other way to put it. He can step out. He hits a trail three, obviously. It's a couple steps behind the line, coming down at full speed. He's physical and composed. He keeps the ball high, and he can put it on the floor. It's just the fact that he can do a little bit of everything. You don't look at him and say, well, if we take away this, he can't do that. Or we take away this, he can't do that. He's got something that he can go to all the time, and so you're just doing your best trying to make him take tough shots. And today he made his shots.
What's it been like so far? Return to Richmond, and if you both got a chance to see, and what was it like facing Coach Rhodes today?
It would have been better if we'd won. I think that he's such a great friend, and it's been a long time. I'm looking forward to, now that it's over, being able to talk to him again about stuff with our teams. It'll help us. I know it'll help us get better. I don't know if it'll help him get better. But it's a great area. I've spent 11 years in this area, and it means a lot to me. It's kind of like the place I've lived the most of my life. I grew up in the Washington, D.C. area. I lived there for 18 years. I lived here for 11 years. So it's a lot like a second home. There's a lot of friendly people here. There's nothing bad I can say about Richmond or Ashland or Randolph-Macon or VCU or the university, or you don't want to hear, or the University of Richmond. It's been a great experience for me, and I feel very fortunate that the time I spent down here. I know every success I've had I can trace back to the time I spent in this area, and that includes meeting my wife and our children. So it's good to be back. It's good to see a lot of friendly faces, but at the same time, I'm glad that this game is over.
Kind of to add on that, the Randolph-Macon family, Coach Rhodes has your former player as a graduate assistant. Is that just kind of play into the whole legacy and the family and the kinship everyone has?
Yeah, there's a lot of connections. If you look at the two benches, there's a reason for it. I think we have a lot of respect for each other, and we recommend people. We take it seriously, and so I think there's 8. There's more than that. There's Mike Venezia on his staff, who I coached at Colgate. Dom Hoffman, who I coach as a senior at Bucknell. Lamont Moore, obviously from Waverly. He's one of his GAs who I recruited and coached for 3 years at Bucknell. At Randolph-Macon. He's on his staff. Donald Brown's their strength coach, who I coached for 4 years as a player at Bucknell. John Brown is on my staff as Donald's brother. There's just a lot of connections, and you want to surround yourself with people that do things the right way. And I think that you look at Randolph-Macon, Bucknell, VCU, people do things the right way. And if you can get those guys around you, you're going to be successful.
Coach, you've been around some great atmospheres around college basketball. Can you talk about this atmosphere here at VCU? It's not the biggest in the world, but you just talk about the fans and just the great atmosphere that your players experience when they come here.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic, and I think that it's not as big. We've been at the Dean Smith Center, which is not as big as that. It's louder. It certainly is louder. I think it's just a testament to the university here and the program you have going and the work they put in. It's a great place to play. It'd be a better place to play if they weren't as good, but it's a great place to play because people are into it. It's much more fun to come in and play in a place that's jumping and loud and screaming and people are into it than to go someplace that's empty. And certainly that's the way it is here. It makes it tougher, but as tough as it is, it's really harder because they're good. That's the biggest difference, is that they're good.
How has your out-of-conference schedule prepared you for Major League? You've played Maryland, you've played North Carolina, and now you've played here. How much confidence? You guys were already favorites, but how much confidence does it give these guys going into the conference play?
I don't know. We'll find out. I think that you look at it, we've played really good teams. We played at Monmouth, who's very good. Then we went to Arkansas, who's very good. They go to North Carolina and Maryland and host Siena. Played Ball State at home. No one talks about we played them. They beat Notre Dame a week ago. You go right down the list. We don't have any easy games. And what you learn from that is the things you need to get better at. So I hope that we're figuring those things out now. We're understanding that, and I think we do. I think we're understanding that your margin for error against the better teams you play, the smaller it is. And you look at this game, and you take the stretcher. We had 5 possessions in the middle of the second half. We're up 1 and got 1 good shot. That changes us from us. Maybe we're being up 4 or 5 with 5 minutes left to we're down 4 or 5. That completely changes the way the game is played down the stretch. And so you never know when it's going to come. But it teaches you, I hope, that you have to be focused and play with that same purpose and same energy and same effort for 40 minutes if you're going to beat somebody good. And that's hard. That's why not everyone wins every game. It's very hard to do, but I think that we're learning it with our injury situation and such. We're playing without 2 guys that played a lot. We're playing without Avi Toomer and Kimball McKenzie. Kimball scored 23 against West Virginia in the NCAA tournament, and that's just one outing. He's probably the best shooting guard in our league. He hasn't been healthy all year long. Just had surgery. He's been out. Avi Toomer is our best perimeter defensive player, and he can make open shots, and he's been out. And so some guys are playing some different roles, and we're learning. But we're going to be, I think, as long as we keep focused and don't get down on ourselves and keep battling, we're going to be better for it at the end.
So, Coach, basically right now, this part of the season is a filling out process. You know, we're getting into January, so if you think your team can continue to learn as we get into, this, I guess we could say more of a term of the season, because there's no easy game in college basketball.
No.
Period.
No, that's a big part of it. When you look, everyone you play against has somebody that can beat you, and so again, learning to be consistent is a big part of it. And when you play good teams, it forces you to be consistent because you learn that you can't take possessions, you can't take days, you can't take 4 or 5 minutes off. You got to be really good over those times because you can't get away with it. And I hope that will carry over for us. And that guys have been around long. We played a good schedule here. They've been around long enough to know that at the end of the day, we got to win our league. We want to win every game, obviously, but we got to win our league to get in the NCAA tournament. And if we keep working and playing together, we'll have a great chance to do that at the end of the year.
Coach, they say that the big man, is disappearing in basketball, but then you see a guy like Fallon who comes in as 23 and 14. And how important is he for your team and going forward?
Oh, he's a huge piece for us. Zach Thomas getting a lot of accolades now, as he should, with the way he's scoring. He's a really good player. He's a unanimous All-League player last year. But Nana Fallon was the Player of the Year and the Defensive Player of the Year of the league as a junior for a reason, and it's because he is a guy out there that draws attention. We have yet to play somebody that can guard him one-on-one. And you saw tonight they had to start doubling. And when we got it out and did a good job with that, we got open shots, and so he can change the game in so many different ways. And I think one of the things he's done in the last few weeks that's been more like last year, he's starting to change the game again defensively and getting blocks and getting rebounds and doing those things that will help us in the long run.
Final questions? Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Good luck on Tuesday.
Thank you.